Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm sure you've heard that term before. If you have watched the series, on day 2, we did go through the Cairo airport on our way to Luxor. And I said that was a terrible and dehumanizing experience, like being brought into a prison. I will tell you, that was a cakewalk compared to what we just did in Aswan. We went through 2 levels of security. First one had no problem. They did what they do in the United States. They I have a lot of wires, I have a lot of gadgets to get to you. I have those all in there. So they scanned my bag. They took the little thing and detected it for things that go boom. We're at an airport, so I don't want to say what it is. Fine. Then the second one, I had some lithium batteries in the bag, which are just backup batteries for cell phones. I carry 2 cell phones. I carry this camera. I got a 360 camera. I need some. I also had a remote control for a camera and a power adapter, and like a power adapter that you plug into the wall in the hotel to convert it over to American. And by the time they went through the bag and everything like that, they said I couldn't have those. I couldn't take them on board. They said I'd have to go back to the main check-in area and check my lithium battery. Now, for those of you that are well-traveled, you should never have a lithium battery in a checked bag, and they say that very clearly because if a fire starts with a lithium battery, you want to have it in the cabin so you can put it out. If it starts in the hold down below, you can't. So I carry my lithium batteries. Now, of note, I have 2 carry-ons. I've got this backpack that's on my back, and I got this carry-on. They both had lithium batteries in it. Now, my backpack also had cash in it. So I think they were able to see the cash, and then they targeted the bag with the cash in it. It had some rolled up dollar bills, but they saw cash. So they held the batteries and the power adapter hostage, said I had to go back and check them in. And I was running late for the flight, and I think that's why they do this. And one of the security guys is like, "Oh, I'd take you back to check-in." At this point, I was a few minutes from the flight. I said, just throw them away. They're batteries, they're anchors, I can buy more. It's just not worth missing a flight or anything like that. They didn't like that. You know why? Because they were taking a bribe. As soon as I just walked away, they came chasing after me, wanting to give me the battery back, and not speaking English at all. The tour guide here, bless her heart, not in a sarcastic way, takes me and the security guy to the corner. She pays him a bribe, and I get my stuff back. Keyword: absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is a government official. And we've seen this temple guards in the temple. Yes, not Legends of the Hidden Temple, not Olmec and the Mayan temple guards, but temple guards were letting people go to parts of the temple that were blocked off if they gave them some money. We had sections we were going to, and it's really, yes, I understand there's poverty. Yes, I understand it's a third world country. Yes, I understand that in the United States, absolute power corrupts absolutely. But this totally prevents me from ever wanting to come back here, and very likely ever recommending Egypt to people. Now, I'm going to make a separate video, because once you get into places, and I've said this in a video in the past, they're perfectly fine, but the transit between places, the entry into places, is just so incredibly absurd and so incredibly corrupt that it makes it almost impossible for me to recommend this, as well as probably 3/4 or more of the people on our tour would not come back just due to the pure corruption and hassle that's happened. Yes, once you're in a hotel, once you're in an attraction, once you're on a boat, it's all fine. But the trouble is the transit, and it's the people in charge that corrupt it. And I hate to say it, I mean, I can't in good conscience recommend a majority of people come here, because you have to be willing to break your own moral and ethical code and just kind of bribe officials to get things done. And it wasn't just me that was stopped. Someone had some batteries for an electronic cigarette. Someone had some antiquity, not antiquities, but like artwork of some kind. And they were just stopped and hassled, and they paid some money, or they gave something to one of the guards, and guess what? You're through. So, I mean, I've never seen a level of corruption so high. Even Cairo, it was uncomfortable, but it was not it was not improper, and this was no one's watching. It's not a big airport. It's a domestic airport, domestic flight as well. This is not an international flight. This was a domestic flight, and my guide literally said that the rules don't apply to domestic flights. They make up their own rules here in Egypt. So just be aware of that. I guess you do put batteries, lithium batteries, in a checked bag in Egypt, or you know, I'm just getting the runaround and getting scammed. But we're headed to Memphis. Not Memphis, Tennessee. We're back in Cairo, and we are headed to Memphis. So we are going to take a ride over to Memphis